Hello friends, Michael here from ePapery. I'm still working on my daffodil journal. It is 5 signatures, so it needs a lot of things. So I've been working on it little by little. Today I thought I would show you a couple of things that are quite easy to do, and some of them are made with leftover scraps of envelopes. I am trying really hard to use up some of the scraps and some of the envelopes that I have because I have so many of them. First thing I'm going to do is show you how I made this out of an envelope. And I have not decorated it, but I will show you how this could go in. Okay, so this is the flap from the envelope. And what you would do is glue that to the end of your page. And what you could do is just glue a little bit here and around here and make this a tuck spot. And then when you go here, whoop, when you open it up this direction, what you have are 3 individual pockets that you can put things in. So that is very simple, and I will show you how to do that one. First of all, I used a rather large envelope. I got these somewhere at a Goodwill or St. Vinny's, and they are pretty big. They're about 11.5 by 5. But you don't need an envelope that big, okay? You could use any type of an envelope you have. You might be only able to make like 2 pockets, or your pockets may be smaller than the ones that I've made. What I did first is I took my journal and I decided how big this needs to be. So I put this at the end of my page, here, and went up to here and made a mark as to how tall it is. Okay. Then what I'm going to do, and if you don't want it the same size as your page, obviously you can make it any size you want. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut off that excess. So, this is left over, and I'll show you something we can do with that a little later. What I originally did is I took and I folded my envelope in 3s. Now you can measure this if you want to make sure that you've got it in equal portions. I didn't do that. I just did it by eye. Fold those in like this so that you have the 3 or 2, however many you want to do, compartments. There. This. And the first thing that I did was I took my paper punch. I wish I could find my little one, but I can't find it. And I cut out a little thumb notch out of each, what was going to be each pocket. Now there's a little piece here that I'm going to cut off just so that it matches with the rest of the inside of the envelope. Like that. Now I'm going to take my glue and make sure that that's glued nicely. Otherwise you're liable to get your tag that you're going to put in there stuck. So there. On my fold lines, and I think what I will do is I will ink these just so that you can kind of see hopefully what I'm doing. Okay, so there's the 3 compartments. What I did is, and I just did this with my scissors, but what I did is I took and I cut probably not even 1/8 of an inch up on one side of that line, all the way up to where this flap is. Okay, and then I took and cut on the other side of that folded line the same way, all the way up to that fold, and then I just cut this little piece off. Okay, so you do that on both of your lines there. Cut on one side of that fold and then cut on the other side of that fold. And then cut off that middle piece, and there you go. I'm going to ink around this before I glue some things down, because I want to be able to get in here. So I want to ink that. Okay. And once you've got that inked, what you can do then is just take and glue on the sides of your, start at the top of the envelope, or the envelope thing, where the back side of the envelope, put a very thin line of glue there and press it down. And then you're on this one, you're going to do it on both sides. I said you don't want a very big glob of glue, because you want to be able to fit a tag in there. Okay? And then on this one too. Now all you do is finish inking around everything, and you have your pocket. This side is square on the flap, so all I did was I just took this and folded it. Okay, put it together, and then I just clipped so that the square corner was rounded just like the other one. Like that. So now we have 2 rounded corners. And so you can put this one, they're a little unwieldy when they're cut like that, but you can take and put your flap here and glue on each end, and that will leave a tuck spot here for you to put something in, like for example this in there. Could put several of them in there. And when you turn it over this way, then you have your 3 pockets that will open up. You could put, if you wanted to, you could put paper on the, you can put paper here if you want, so you can write on. These are a nice color, so I'm just going to leave them. But then you have this pocket here, which you can put a tag in. Now if you wanted to, you could add additional pockets here if you wanted to do that. I don't think that I'm going to do that. But anyway, there is how you make that one. Extremely simple. Okay? Now let's try something else here. Let's see. Here is the end of that envelope that I just had. So what I'm thinking about here is just doing another, you know, like a top fold. So here again you would have like an up tuck, and you folded this down, and then you would have a pocket here. Now you can close it here and you'd have this end of the pocket here open, or you could glue this and cut this open, and then you'd have a pocket that goes in that way, or you could just put a thumb thing here and have it go in that direction. I think what I might do on this one is have it open on this side so I can put a little bit bigger tag in there. Now again, you've got this squared off, so all you need to do is just fold it a little bit here. Okay. And then cut it off. Even with the other one, now you have a rounded folded little thing here that you can make a tuck spot out of, like that. And then you'll have an opening here where you can stick a tag in. So that's one way to use the other half of the envelope. I have a few other things here. Let me see. Okay, this little paper clip is made out of this tiny little leftover envelope piece. And it's a paper clip, and it has two tags in a little pocket on the front, and then it also has a little tag that comes out, or journal card that comes out of the side, and then it will clip on your page. If I just get it in there right. There we go. So it will clip on your page like that. You can clip something else in there if you want to, or use it as another tuck spot, whatever you want to do. But that's another very simple thing to do with those leftover pieces of envelope. So I'll show you the basics of how I made that, okay? Okay, so first of all, we have this. This is how it looks, okay? Now, I wanted to put my paper clip in here, and I wanted to have part of my paper clip showing. And the reason I did that is because I can hang a dangle off of that if I want to then. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, I think I'll use my small scissors here. I'm going to take my small scissors, and I'm just going to, somewhat in the center, make a very, very, very small hole, just a very small hole in the top of that. And when I do that, then that gives me the way to put the paper clip on and still have a dangle. So now I'm going to take and glue this portion closed here. Okay. Now see if I can find another paper clip. This is a pretty small one, but doesn't really make any difference. So I'm going to take the paper clip and I'm going to put the small part, the small clip inside between the two layers of the envelope like this. Okay, and I'm going to leave just a tiny bit of that paper clip showing so that if I want to, I can put a dangle on it. It's, you know, very simple. Then I can take a piece of scrap. Let's see what I got over here. And it, you know, doesn't have to be anything. Okay, I am going to mark this where I want it. I think I'm going to do it here in here. And then I'm going to take my cutter, and if I can see where I marked this. Oh, okay, I gotta hold it up here so I can see where it is. Hopefully that's where it is. Okay, and cut off that side, and then go over to this one and attempt to cut this one. Okay, now I have two little pieces left. Now let's see if I got this so it, not bad. Okay, so then I take and fold down just, like 1/8 of an inch on the top there and glue it down just to make the top of that pocket just a little stronger. Okay. Okay. So you can either decorate this part first and then put your pocket on, or you can put your pocket on and then decorate the rest of your, however you want to do it. But then what you see is you have this slit here to put a journal card into. Now, what I did with this one, I found a journal card that I thought was going to fit in there, a small one like this, and I put it in there. Okay, and I kind of marked on the inside there where that goes, how far that goes, and then that way I can glue the paper clip, but I'm not gluing into the space that I know I want to use for the journal card. So then I just glued that closed. There. And my journal card will still fit in there. There. Okay. And then you just proceed to decorate it however you want. I didn't decorate the back on this one, but you certainly can. So that's how to use another leftover piece of an envelope. One more for you here. This, I had an envelope, and I just needed, for another project that I was making, I just needed to cut it down. So I cut the top of the envelope off, and apparently I had cut off the top a little bit too. Now what I'm going to do with this one, and this is more or less just for, decoration purposes, but if you take and put the part that's closed off, you can stick that around your page like that. Okay, so you could just leave it like this. I'm going to decorate this with various types of ephemera. I'm going to make probably just a, what do they call it? Like a little cluster thing. So where you might want to do, just a little cluster, add different things to it, however you want to do it. And I might stamp around a few things or whatever. And then you'll have a decorated side of the page. Now if you wanted to, you could glue up here, okay, and then you'd have a tuck spot again. But you wouldn't have to if you didn't want to. And then you could do the same thing on this side also to make a little page cluster, side cluster. So those are just a few of the things that I have been doing with the leftover parts of envelopes after I have made other embellishments. They're kind of fun. These are those little tab pockets that I made, okay? And so I had cut a little part off of the envelope. Well, maybe in this case I didn't with this one, but because I made an extra pocket here. And this is a window envelope, so there's a piece in there that you can see through. And this goes on your page. For example, show you the one I have in here. How's that? This one. Hopefully you can see that. So it's basically glued on the page, and then it makes a tab here. And then you've got your window pocket here. So that's something I've been making with envelopes. Also, I had a large window envelope that I had, so I just took the flap of it and decorated it, and then decorated the rest of the envelope. And this, really the only purpose of this one is if you can put it in your journal here, and again, you can make a tuck spot up here. If you want to glue this down on the sides, then you've got a tuck spot here. But then you have this window where your paper shows through, but it's, it's just a decorative window. It doesn't have to be for any purpose. And that's made out of leftovers, actually, of an envelope. So there's lots of things that you can do with leftover pieces of envelope. And this, again, I made one of those tab ones out of this. But, this one, again, you can use this like up here on your page as a tab. And then, it's just you could use it as a tab. You could glue a little bit of it down and have a tuck spot here, or you could just leave it as a bookmark corner where if you want to just mark where you currently are in your book, you could do it that way. So that's another one. This one is one I made also out of an envelope. Now what I did with this one is I bought some of that paper tape, and I just covered my window envelope with the paper tape and made that. And this one, I think, because I have it decorated both sides, I will just paper clip it in. So those are the things that I've been making from envelopes. All right, guys, thank you again so much for coming and spending a little bit of time with me. I hope that you enjoyed what we did today, and if you try it, I would love to see what you did, and I would love to hear your comments in the comment section about what I did. And hopefully I'm in frame so you don't have to comment about that. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.